Valve, the company behind classic titles like Half-Life, Portal, Team Fortress, Left 4 Dead, and Counter-Strike, and among many others, has finally released their next piece of hardware, the Steam Deck. A mobile PC with the power to run AAA games on the go with no drawbacks in quality or performance. I originally discussed my reaction, thoughts, and hopes for the Steam Deck back when they first announced it. And now, it's finally released for Q1 customers, and I wanted to sit down and discuss my current feelings on Valve's latest hardware device and hopefully explain how I felt towards Valve regarding their communication regarding the deck. Let's begin. After the reveal of the deck, I felt a sense of wonder, excitement, and also reluctance to fully believe Valve. Valve has had a very embarrassing trend of not following up with their projects, like supporting artifacts and DOA underlords, the neglect of Source 2 SDK tools for modders and community members to use, the blatant silence on Valve Index, and much more. I wanted to be proved wrong regarding my feelings towards Valve. I had no doubt that the quality of the deck would be fantastic, comparing itself to the Valve Index. However, future support was always up in the air. However, more questions were going to be needing to be asked, like if Q2 customers have to wait long for news regarding their ability to even purchase the deck. Will the deck run every game on Steam, and will the console/PC hybrid really move PC gaming in any meaningful direction? Time would tell, and time would answer. Several news updates were given around October time, with the biggest one being the delay of the deck. Originally was scheduled for December 2021, the system was pushed to 2 months into February. Alongside this, Q2 customers like myself were pushed back into a vague after Q2 slot, meaning anything after Q2 till the heat death of the universe, you'll be able to pay for your Steam Deck. However, Valve would become more transparent, more than they usually are. The Steam Deck would get its own dedicated Twitter page, @OnDeck, and would be used to update and inform the public on any updates, changes, and more regarding the hardware. They used the platform to share developers running their games on dev kits that Valve had supplied. Games like Devil May Cry 5, Street Fighter 5, Hades, Hellblade, Tetris Effect Connected, No Man's Sky, and many more was shown running on the deck with no need for optimization unlike ports, specifically towards the Switch. Seeing Valve create the Twitter page was a sign of hope that more communication would come, and indeed, it surprisingly did. Valve would release a video on their official YouTube page called Take a Look Inside Steam Deck, featuring a breakdown on the internals of the deck. The video would make it clear that they knew they weren't going to stop you from going into your own device, so they would provide a tutorial on how to safely open your deck. This is great since the SSD can be upgraded without consequence as long as you know what you're doing. It was refreshing to see Valve do this in an industry where stuff like this is frowned upon and outright vilified by companies like Nintendo. It was a show of goodwill and showed that they were in touch with their consumers. Several details would also be shared regarding the deck, like its packaging, showing off the 512GB version of the Steam Deck case, and other small details, but the biggest was Deck Verified. Deck Verified would represent in a simple way what games were playable on deck. Green checkmarks meant that the game was perfect to run outside of the box. Examples like Portal 2, Ghost Runner, The Witcher 3, and Horizon Zero Dawn, among many others. Yellow info icons meant that the game was playable, but needed some configuration to be changed by the user, with games being labelled like this with Team Fortress 2, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Sonic Adventure 2, and many more. Grey icons meant that the game is not playable on deck, with the biggest being Half-Life Alyx, which is a VR title. I really do appreciate Valve for doing this. Members at the team at Valve are testing what titles to make sure that you can know what games to buy that will run great on your new shiny deck. It's an extra mile that I really do appreciate from the company, and for that, Valve, thank you. When the new year came around, Valve tested even more games on the deck, regular. Some personal favourites were Yakuza 0, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, among others. One game in particular really hyped me up. Sonic Generations was tested and ran great on the Steam Deck out of the box, and this is awesome. I made it apparent in a previous video about how much I love Generations, and for the first time ever, I can bring it wherever I want in a more compact and convenient way. The CAD files for the Steam Deck was also released as a nice surprise, meaning that if you had a 3D printer, you could print out your own Steam Deck and have a feel of what it's like to make sure it feels good in your hands. Later, they announced that iFixit was one of the authorized sellers of the replacement parts of the deck in case a part was damaged or malfunctioned, something uncommon in the industry. We get our first look at customizable virtual keyboards, and Valve released a tool to check what your games are in your library and if they were playable on the deck. Also, updates for Portal and Half-Life 2 were secretly released that redid the hub menu, most likely for anticipation for the Steam Deck to make sure that they were able to be played and read as well. And on February 25th, the Steam Deck released and the first batch of emails to reservation holders was also sent. They also released a new trailer featuring tons of games that are officially being confirmed to run on deck. They also opened a new section on the Steam store where you can shop for Steam Deck verified titles. This is super helpful to find and purchase games that will be running perfectly on the deck. However, Valve made a surprise announcement alongside the launch. Valve revealed Aperture Desk Job, a 20-minute demo made to show off the controls and features of the Steam Deck. It would take place in Portal and the Half-Life universe during the 70s. You play as a new intern testing products with a character called Grader. Unlike previous Portal-type demos, this is being internally done by Valve. The game is being written by Eric Walpart and Jay Pinkleton, the writers of Portal 1, Portal 2, and the writers for Half-Life Alyx. Also, it was confirmed to be running on Source 2. Ever since that Geico commercial, we've had Portal Companion Collection confirmed for the Nintendo Switch, and now Aperture Desk Job for the Steam Deck and technically PC. Portal has actually made a surprising small comeback. It makes me wonder if Portal might make a proper return. I doubt it though. Oh my. I think it looks cool. Yes, it's a tech demo, but it's also nice seeing the world of the Portal series come back again, and I'm sure that the game will be funny. However, it isn't a full-length title and just 20 minutes. This isn't a Half-Life Alyx type game. It's like any other Portal demo. Now that the deck is out, I have to wonder what is next. It's critical that Valve keeps supporting the deck, as many users have put their faith in Valve to supply decks at hopefully a good pace. Yes, due to the chip shortages due to the ongoing COVID pandemic that will be getting harder, but hopefully, again, they can manage. But it also lies in Valve to update the deck with improvements and more. And if Gabe Newell's words are to be taken as fact, Valve are already starting planning on a new iteration, like the way of PC gaming. When a new piece of hardware releases, the new one is already on the horizon. But also, what's next for Valve? Valve like to put all of their employees onto one project when something is deemed valuable to work on. Citadel is most likely their next project, which if recent information is to be true, takes place in the Half-Life universe, and is actively in development. Maybe. CSGO Source 2 has also been having some information put towards it, leading to speculation that the project might actually be being worked on again, in some capacity. There's even been reports that Valve are making a new VR headset as a successor to the Valve Index, but as of right now, time will tell. For now, at least, Valve is being more transparent when it comes to their hardware projects, and I hope this passes on to the software side. I don't know if Valve plans to develop a proper game again. Not behind VR or a handheld, but a true mouse and keyboard experience. But that remains to be seen. I hope you all enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. See you later.